Live on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. This is the top 16 being uploaded to you in its entirety until the top 8 and grand finale will be uploaded in a separate video. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching as much of the video as you can, even in the background. That greatly supports me. And because of that, Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Let's go. Dino and Dragon Link. Archosaur is going to be popping that baby on the activation of the baby. Expect that Max C to be drawing per special summon. Let's get ready, and we have no way to stop it. So a lot of decks are usually defined by how many interruptions can you set up under a Max C efficiently, and that's pretty much how good your deck is going to be. Can Dragon Link do that? As we're going to be giving him another draw 2, still no disruption. And now we have Lagia. So draw 3 on top of having an Omni Negate. Draw 4 on top of 2 Disruption. I rate it a C- out of 10. Okay. Now there is a Light and Darkness Dragon. Back in my day, ain't no way. This is a mandatory activation negate. If a card or effect activates from either player, it has to negate. It's the original Apollo USA. It reduces its attack and defense every time it negates, and you have no choice. How are we going to summon that? Cannot be special summoned. Focus. We have Rocket Tracer with the Regained. We're thinking when we want to Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to flip the whole field face down, or Lagia negate a summon. That's negate. Negate the summon. It is now not even special summonable from the grave. Serenir is going to be banishing it, triggering the Regain, returning it back in the extra deck to draw 1. Now we're going to be using the Baldrake, banishing the Misk from the graveyard, using Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, popping the Lagia to flip the whole field face down, and it actually ended our turn. Ain't no way. Now we're going to be Max C'ing again. Back-to-back Max C. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno could attack every monster in the field. Ash is going to negate the Oviraptor, which is a risky negate because we could then chain Misk to negate the Ash. When should you Ash? You should generally Ash the miscellaneous source. So they would add Mist, discard Mist, banish Mist to someone from the deck. That's the perfect Ash. Not that you need help to beat Dinos. We're going to banish from the graveyard to summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, as one of them can attack both, dealing 2,000 damage as we send them to the graveyard for the effect to burn for 1,000. Send, burn for 1,000, send, burn for 1,000, 3,500, 1,800 follow-up. Not lethal damage, 700 damage left. Ultimate Conductor followed up with our Max C, which will be negated by the Ash. We're going to be able to flip the whole field face down, non-targeting. So we need the perfect moment to do so. Ash is going to be negating. And when do we get flipping? When is the right time? Let's see if we can identify that moment. He does have Chaos Space if he could have a card banished here. We do have the Collapse Serpent, triggering the effect of Regained. We're going to be using Ultimate Conductor right then and there to flip down the Collapse Serpent. Did we do it too early or what? Magna Hut banishing it from the graveyard to then summon our Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Double Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. It is not a hard once per turn, as the Safer now searches for a Wyver Burster, which the Collapse Serpent really wanted to search for. So that is what we were stopping here. Now we're going to be going through the whole combo. Safer add from the graveyard back to the hand our Lubellion, which will be adding Abystial from the deck to the hand. We're going to be banishing for our Wyver Burster summon. First, Druistorm is going to banish from the opponent's graveyard. We're going to be tributing with the effect of the Lubellion from the graveyard to then summon our Wyver Burster, using the Chaos Space to randomly draw into our Called by the Finger, to then add back the Rocket Tracer with the effect of the Sky Striker. Then we're going to be, I said Sky Striker, the Striker Burst Dragon, that is. We're going to then be making the Chaos Ruler. Mill the top 5 cards of the deck, add a light or dark among those 5. We do not have an additional normal summon to summon that Light and Darkness Dragon. Boy, did I wish you could. Oh no, it's just going to the grave. Shadow Light, what is this doing? Banish this card from the graveyard during your main phase. You could normal summon 1 light or dark to an addition. Why didn't you add Light and Darkness if you had that play, mate? What the heck? No, normal summon Safer? Come on now. Dark with nowhere to summon due to our arrows being blocked if there were even a dark monster to summon. Soyon has now surrendered. We have no hand traps, so we're going to have full turn 1 Wombo combo. Oviraptor grabbing a Dino, miscellaneous banishing to summon from the deck our Archosaur. With nothing to pop, we're going to make a Link Karibo into Secure Gardna to use the double evolution pill to banish a non-Dino plus a Dino to summon the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And we're ending on just a single disruption, a public one that is. It's going to be pop a card to then flip the whole field face down. Pop your own monster, that is. Ash is going to negate the Chaos Space from setting up for the big Chaos combo play, and the called by is going to finger the Ash, negate, cross out, designate, negate the called by May. I do not think so. You will not be adding a Chaos monster, but the safer will then be adding it unless the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno flips it face down, which it should. Wait, we have a Rocket in the graveyard? How'd that happen? We discarded it? Ain't no way. Reborning Rocket Tracer from the graveyard, popping the launch, going into a recharger, flipping down the level 8 synchro play as the safer now sends itself to the graveyard to grab our Collapse Serpent, which you desperately tried to stop us from searching. Banish to summon, making the Striker Dragon, nothing to search. Collapse Serpent, grabbing the Wyvern Burster. We're going to be summoning it now. Where are we going with this? Chaos Space, returning a banished card back to draw 1. Maybe this newly drawn card will be helping us. Abso Router, okay. And we have Dark. Dark could summon a Dark monster from the opponent's graveyard, but there is none to summon. Grabbing the Collapse Serpent, to battle we go. Taking out the Oviraptor with the Dark, and now we could steal the Oviraptor, being a Dark, as we now link this up into a Unicorn, discard a card on summon, spin the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno back into the deck. Very well done here. Rocket Synchron to the hand, but we do not have our normal summon, as we have no public disruption. Top decks into a pot of P. Can we pop off here? No, we can't because of the Ash Blossom, but we have triple tactics thrust, as we could thrust a card into the hand. We could thrust the Fossil Dig. We could thrust the triple tactics talent. What do? We got the Fossil Dig to the hand. It is royal rarity as we add our Oviraptor. Let's freaking go. Add from the deck our Miscellaneous Source. Miscellaneous, send from the hand to the grave to make our field unaffected, to then banish just itself to summon our Archosaur. Pop in the Oviraptor, grabbing the double evolution pill, which will wipe out the entire field plus give us a disruption. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno from the deck. Attack every single body on the field, wiping out the Unicorn, burning for 2,000 damage as we take out the Tracer and the Recharger. Now, can we make a Linkuriboh? We cannot. And we're going to have to pop ourselves with the effect of the Tyranno to flip cards face down. So when do we do it? Serenir banishing the Archosaur to come forth and summon, banishing for the Collapse Serpent, making a Chaos Angel here on summon, forcing the affected Tyranno to flip down the Chaos Angel as we are attempting to banish it, triggering Collapse Serpent to grab Wyvern Burster, Serenir sending a Lubellion from the deck to the graveyard, and we have not even used up our normal summon. This is not good for Dino, as we add up and send from the deck to the graveyard, summon the Synchron, reborn the Abso to now make a level 8 Synchro into the Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler plus the Abso add a Rocket Tracer. We already used up our normal summon here. Add a Light or Dark among the 5 cards we are milling. That is going to be the Light and Darkness Dragon, which we have yet been able to see it be summoned. Tributing for the Lubellion, setting up Regain, banishing from... I thought you were going to banish the Light and Darkness Dragon. That was going to be an automatic DQ. Return the banished card back in the deck. We're going to Chaos Space, discard to then add from the deck to the hand. You could summon it, right? The Shadow Light, does that work or what? Doesn't that give you the additional summon? Please do it. Does it work the turn it's sent to the graveyard? Chaos Space, returning a banished card to draw 1. Do it, yes, come on. Light and Darkness Dragon is here. 2,800 attack. And just like that, anything you activate will be negated. You better activate that finger. Now, if we activate something, it will also be negating it. And if this card is destroyed, it will reborn a monster from the grave. Holy moly, we do not have lethal damage here, but we do have another chance to see the activation of the Light and Darkness Dragon. Something, please. Oh, Miscellaneous. Okay, so you activate the call by. This will then mandatory negate. Miscellaneous Mate is going to be sending from its hand to the graveyard. So that is a way to play around it here. Okay, so negate number 1. But then we're going to negate the Miscellaneous in the grave. Mandatory negate. Gotcha, mate. Light and Darkness Dragon is back. It's a 20-year-old card, right? Or 15 years, 20 years? You tell me. Negate, negate, negate. Original. Apollo USA, negate anything though. Very well done. Earl GB, sending the Fool back to Fortnite with Light and Darkness Dragon. Thank you to both of you. I appreciate you both. Soyeon, thank you for bringing Dinos, very spicy. And Light and Darkness Dragon, holy moly. Can we take that to the grand finale, please? Kurikara, really good turn 2 card. Let's speed this up. adding Theosising the Unicorn to get our Fenrir onto the field as we search for our Rise Heart. Now we're making Shang-Ri. Rise Heart could bang the Shang-Ri, grabbing a material from it, and then summoning it onto the field. Randomly banishing the limited to 1 pot of E off the top of Tupac's deck here. We are now making a Rise Heart. Anything sent to the graveyard will be banished. Double a Rise Heart. Holy moly. If we could activate anything that then gets banished, both of the Arise Hearts will activate their mandatory effect, and then Kurikara will eat them both up. I guess we have to summon Barrier and swing in? What do we do? Huh? We're not, oh yeah, battle. No, Kurikara, MP2? MP2 Kurikara, ain't no way, come on, man. Yeah, you had to summon, swing, MP2 Kurikara, then set your back row. Oh boy, this is a problem. Barrier on its own is not going to be working. Yeah, I think we had to do the play that I was mentioning. So I don't see us winning this game. Goodbye to both our back rows. We just have a Barrier statue. And then the Arise Heart will simply be outing it. It's during the end phase here, so Kurikara could not be used. We could have thrusted in Kurikara in MP2. Swing, we get banished, they both activate, you then Kurikara, well, you then thrust a card to the hand, then you Kurikara, and then the whole duel would have been different there. I think you would grab maybe Morganite. Would that be the moment to thrust the Morganite to then draw 2 every turn and then sit on there can only be 1? He did have Harpy Feather Duster to then wipe him up afterward, but I don't know if he would have had lethal damage. We take 2k, we're at 6k, then he has a Birth. Maybe he would have still been doing lethal damage anyway. So maybe a loss anyway. Let's go into game 2. Dimension Guardian? What? Continuous Trap. Activate this card by targeting one face-up attack position you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. If the targeted monster leaves the field, destroy this card. Pot of P, digging deep for the nastiest card. Time-tearing Morganite is here. Right? Am I right? Yes. Activate it. You can't activate monster effects in the hand for the rest of the duel. And now we draw 2 cards every turn. And the Fossil Dino says you can't special summon. We have the Pressure Planet searching for our Rise Heart to normal summon, to swing in, to flip up the Dimension Guardian, to now make it indestroyable. Holy moly. Rise Heart banishing from the deck to banish a Gren Maju off the top of the deck. Dogmatica Punishment, sending Entis, to then pop the bluffed back row card here. It's forever protected. Okay, it's essentially equipped onto it. Draw 2. Now, Kurikara does not activate from the hand, so it's still summonable. Ash is going to negate the Pot of D. Solemn Strike is going to negate the negate. Every turn we are drawing 2, every turn goes by, you are closer and closer to losing this duel. We are getting that draw 2 played. Now, Morganite has an effect if you draw the other Morganite, right? You could banish this card from your graveyard, discard the Morganite. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects when you normal summon this turn. Okay, not too good. And we're setting it so we're not going to even get that effect. Can't special summon Fenrir. I mean, what do we do? We can't do anything. Guess what? Draw 2 cards again. We got the Moon Mirror Shield now and a Crackdown to steal an opponent's monster here. A lot of turn 2 cards in this stun deck. Nibiru could be normal summoned if he had 2 cards to tribute. Ain't no way. Solemn Judgment and a Dimension Guardian. Maybe they could deck out. That could be another win condition. If you could just stall for enough turns, the time Morganite is going to deck them out. There you go. We're going for the deck out strategy, setting a 2100 defense position monster. Setting a Dogmatic Punishment, which could out it. Maybe we're going to have to be popping the field spell here. Only 12 cards left in the deck. Now we are scooping it up. Time-tearing Morganite in stun deck. You saw it here in the top 16. Let's go to game 3. Unicorn with no disruption. We're going to go full wombo combo, special summoning that Fenrir, grabbing the Rise Heart to bang our Shang-Ri with the Big Bang. Bang it by returning a material to then summon it back on the field. Goodbye to one of the Grand Majus off the top of our deck. We got Birth to birth our other Fenrir on the field for a triple Arise Heart summon. Now we have double Arise on the field here. One Kaiju that only outs one of them. We don't have Kurikara to out both at the same time. There goes the Kaiju. Grand Maju is 400 for every banished card. How big would the Grand Maju be? 400 times, it would have been 11. Over 4,000 attack here, but would have been banished by the Arise Heart, definitely. There can only be one of each monster type. By flipping that up, there can only be one machine. So we have to either get rid of the Pathfinder or the Arise Heart. We'll get rid of the Pathfinder. And then we're going to be equipping as a material. We got 2 special summon onto the field, another type. We have warrior, we have machine, we have aqua, we have all the different monster types, and we were not able to stun the opponent with the there can only be one. Tupac with a brand new Morganite has been eliminated. Opening up with our unicorn, grabbing the Theosis. We have the activation of the primitive planet searching for a Scareclaw. What the heck deck is this? So the Mo Yi does not activate to draw a card because it must go to the graveyard, right? Yeah, if sent to the graveyard, draw a card. That's going to be a bit disruptive. And your 10 Yis, when used for Link Summon, they're going to get banished, so they're not going to be usable either. The Ecclesia could be activated. Let's see how this works. Will Shangri be activating? Yeah, we're going to be doing it. Unicorn from the deck. Ashuna, special summon. It's going to get banished if we link it off. Goodbye from the extra deck. The Sinister Sovereign. Shangri locking up another zone from that banish face down. We're gaining a second material for the Arise Heart. One more, and we're going to be able to quick effect banish any card in the field face down. Normal summoning Adhara to go for that level 8 synchro play into Baxia. Baxia is going to attempt to spin 2 cards in the field back in the deck, and it will successfully do so. Goodbye to Arise, goodbye to Shangri. By using up that normal summon, we could still special summon Ecclesia. Wow. Ecclesia tribute special summon the Mo Yi. Reveal the Mo Yi. We now get that draw as we now make the Grandmaster play here. Shokan into Grandmaster to search our deck and draw 1. Make sure to chain link block the Grandmaster with the draw 1 of the Mo Yi to play around Ash. Draw 1 and search for Longyun. Now, okay, Emergence instead. It looks like we're going right for the Protos. Or, okay, we're going Emergence, then Longyun, not straight to the Longyun. That's fine. Discard a card, level 10 Synchro. Now, by losing out on our Sinister Sovereign and our Chang Ying, as long as we didn't activate the Ashuna, locking us into Worm-type monsters only, we can make Baron to Floor. Yes? Baron to Floor is here. You banished all my level 10s, but the Baron to Floor. Now, the Triheart's unaffected from all monsters that activate while in defense, so how do we out it? You know, is it something that we really need to out? It's just putting us in a defense. It's not negating us like a Baguska. Well, goodbye to Baron to Floor, just like that. As we now MP2, right card special summon to then finger the right card in the graveyard to negate the one on the field. Now, it's really interesting here is we're chaining the Scareclaw Kashtira to banish the Scareclaw from the graveyard to dodge the finger, thus the right card in the field will not be negated. Let's remember we're in main phase 2, so we're going to negate you with the Grandmaster anyway. So you dodge the finger to dodge the negate, and then we end up follow-up negating. But there goes all our disruption. Was negating right card really that important with the Grandmaster? I'm not so sure. Let's see what comes from this. Theosis is going to grab back the Banished Birth, which we banished on the very first turn with the Rise Heart, and now we are using and abusing it. Reborning the Fenrir from the graveyard. Our own Triheart forcing it into defense. Unicorn to the hand. We still have that normal summon play, which we could normal summon without tributing. And just like that, that is the Unicorn. Everything going into defense, making another Arise Heart activatable right here, right now, as we banish the Grandmaster off the field, so it does not negate us next turn. We're going to be attaching the Theosis and then ending our turn. Now, Baxia could pop a card we control to reborn a monster from the graveyard, which could be the Mo Yi. So it could pop itself, summon Mo Yi, reveal the Mo Yi, go into level 8 Synchro. That's the play, right? Yes, it is. Or we could summon Ecclesia instead. Reborn Ecclesia, and now it's got its second material. We gotta be careful. On the third material, we're in trouble. Normal summoning Mo Yi to then just Synchro straight into another Baxia, as we cannot stop this. Baxia cannot spin the Triheart, but be gone with the Arise Heart. Rise Heart back into the extra. I see some notifications. Thank you very much. We're going to read it right after this duel. Enemy Controller. Very interesting card. Very good for the mirror match if there's a lot of Kashtira players. Now, where's Purrely in this tournament, by the way? We're going to be chaining Scareclaw, Kashtira to the max C, special summoning before the resolution of the max C, so you do not get that additional draw. Banishing Theosis to trigger Theosis to add back a banished Fenrir, which we can normal summon now. And it will not be concluding in a draw. Wait, to battle we go? I guess we're, well, the Fenrir cannot attack anyway because of the Tryhard. Because of the Scareclaw Kashtira effect of attacking while in defense, we got lethal damage. Damn. Econ take, indeed we go. Swing, swing, lethal. Let's hop into game number 2. We have Ash. When do we Ash against Swordsoul? Pretty much the first time you could do so, unless it is a Mo-Yi activating to draw a card, you do not Ash that. We have Adhara special summoning. I think Ashuna on Ash on Ashuna is good. That's good. You negate Ashuna, negate Ecclesia, negate Pot of Desires, negate Emergence. They're all good negates. Just generally the first thing they do. And the reason why is because through their main combo, they're not really ashable. But actually, maybe I want to change my mind. If you don't Ash the Ashuna, what are they doing? They're going to make a Grandmaster. Grandmaster is not ashable if made with Mo-Yi, but they're making it with Ashuna. So the Grandmaster being Chain Link 1 and it being a hard once per turn, probably the better negate. So I would maybe hold the Ash for the Grandmaster if they're doing the Ashuna play. Do you all agree with that? What do you think? Now, of course, you can't Ash it if they Mo-Yi. And then if their Grandmaster gets negated and then they follow up Mo-Yi, what are they going to make? This would have been negated. It would have been on the field and negated. We have Mo-Yi. Maybe I'm only saying that because I'm seeing their hand. I see that they're able to make a follow-up one. We're going to Chain Link block if you had an Ash play right then and there. Long Yun, discard a card to make our level 10 Synchro play, which will be not Baron to floor. We're locked into Worm-type monsters only. So we have Sinister Sovereign. If you activate Kashtira Birth or the field spell, we could banish it, and that's going to be stopping their effects. Also, if you special summon Fenrir, we could banish it. No, we're not banishing it. Okay, we're going to wait. We're going to, here's the thing. You banish it, they could then summon another one. And then if you banish it again with another card, they could then summon another one. It's not restricted to being only summoned once. Grandmaster negate. Econ take. Taking control of the Sinister Sovereign. Now we're going to activate the effect. When your opponent activates a spell or trap, we're going to banish it and burn for 1200. Thank you very much. We now get to search, but we're blocked from even summoning, unless it's a Scareclaw Kashtira, which you could banish the Fenrir to then summon. This does work out. We're also big enough to take out the Grandmaster here. Ash is negating the Magician's Souls, attempting to draw just one card. We're gonna finger the Ash over draw one. Okay, we really want that draw one. We discarded a Harpy Feather Duster in order to do so. So let's see what that draw one play is going to be as we add to our hand another Fenrir, which is not even summonable. Well, we could tribute summon actually. Over the Souls and the Long Yun, tribute Fenrir, attack, banish. We have full field wipe with tributing for Fenrir, and then we could make a Shangri if we want. Yes? So, okay, we're not going to be triggering the Fenrir effect. We could have wiped up the entire field. Maybe we don't know that play? Surely we do. Link this up into Lightheart. We're going to be now certain. Did we really want a normal summon maybe? That's maybe why we didn't do that. We're going to be grabbing the field spell, grabbing in the Acro. Acro's going to special summon, and we're going to be linking that off into Tryhard. Tryhard's going to reborn the Acro, search our deck for another Tryhard. All right, I should say another Scareclaw monster, that is. Summoning the right card, and now this gets an additional effect. Because you have 3 monsters in defense, you get to draw a card in addition to the search. What the heck? Fateful Adventure. And we can pop a card in the field due to the field spell. So full field wipe anyway, and we get to keep the Fenrir. Now we got the Twin Saw. Twin Saw is nuts. Pop 2 cards on the field, and it could disallow Link monsters from activating by banishing from the graveyard. Now what do we do? Ashuna is going to be special summoning here. Link this off into the Monk of Tenyi. Now the Twin Saw is not going to do much against that. Ashuna special summoning from the deck, our Vashuda. Now we're going to link this off into Shaman. So that was our opportunity to Twin Saw the field before the Vashuda goes in the graveyard to then, well, actually it's not activatable because you need a non-monster on the field, non-effective monster on the field to activate. So we're fine, actually. Now we could Twin Saw before the Vashuda spins back our Tryhard. And we're going to do that exactly. Tributing the Acro, wiping out the field, which is resulting in a scoop. Scareclaw taking game number 1 and 2 in a 2-0 victory. Let's go. Corby, discarding the Lovely. Lovely's a good discard if you happen to have it in your hand. We have the Big Welcome. That is the limited to 1 pot of E, restricted for today's event. Special summoning our Fenrir, searching for another Fenrir, which is so good for Labrynth. It's discard fodder. It also works with the Big Welcome, returning it back to the hand. We're going to be going into Welcome into the Lady, so we're not playing into the Ash play here. And then we're going to be using the Big Welcome, and we want to chain our Lady to the Big Welcome, all before the Lightning Storm happens. So ideally, we have a card to chain to the Big Welcome, so the Lady cannot chain to it, but we actually have Impermanence instead, but the Lady can't be targeted as long as we have a face-down card. So what's going to happen is they're going to search their deck for any trap, and it's going to be activatable this turn. Get ready. Big Welcome, nothing chainable, chain to it, can't imperm, you're untargetable. They could activate Imperm, trying to, but then they'd have to Imperm the Fenrir, which is funny because in the TCG, if you were to activate Imperm here on Lady, you'd say illegal activation, add it back. But in Master Duel, if you try to Imperm the Lady, you now have to Imperm the Fenrir. I don't see any situation in the TCG where a judge would be like, nope, you gotta Imperm the Fenrir. They would just say illegal activation. That's what I'm thinking. Set up the Dogmatica Punishment, which will be activatable if we set up with the clock, which we're not doing. We're instead going to return back the Lady, triggering the effect of the Lovely, which we could Imperm here. This is a good Imperm. Negate the effect to randomly pop a card from the hand. Instead of making it random, just make it the Imperm. Ooh, we are dodging the Impermanence with Eradicator, which means after your spells are destroyed and your remaining cards are the Sprite cards, then the Lovely's going to pop one of the Sprite cards in your hand. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. You lost Imperm, you lost all your spells, and you're losing one of your sprites. You're probably losing the entire duel. Goodbye, blue. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get ready for game number 2. What the heck was that? All right, we're gonna be starting off this duel, activating the clock, then chaining the furniture. It's important to note you don't discard the clock with the furniture. It has to be in the graveyard on the activation of the furniture in order to trigger the effect of the clock. Now, this backrow card is not activatable unless we have a Labrynth monster on the field. So the clock's effect requiring a Labrynth meeting its own requirement by summoning itself onto the field, being chain link 1 to the furniture card, summoning itself onto the field. Now you get to activate it, and you get to do this during the opponent's turn. If this were turn 1 Swasi Senpai, we could be doing all of this. So turn 0 play if you want. Lovely. Return back the clock. Trigger Lovely. Pop a card from the hand. Also triggering Chandelier to add back to the hand. Imperm is going to negate. This time you are not dodging my play, mate. This Imperm is so good. Not popping a card from the hand. Well, you do lose the Imperm, but you're also not going to be able to recycle the Big Welcome Labrynth and the graveyard back onto the fields. So very well done there. Dogmatica Punishment could trigger the Lovely to pop another card in the field and or in the hand. And you gotta be careful with the Dogmatica. You do not want to chain it to the effect to summon a Live Twin from the deck because the new Live Twin will then activate. Right here is a good time. Pop the Kisa Kill, trigger the Entis, trigger the Lovely, pop the card in the field, pop the card in the hand. If we don't pop the Kurikara is gonna eat up that Lovely. This is it. Oh my gosh. What the heck was that? Kurikara is dead. Summoning the blue from the deck. Blue, activate you. Not imperming the blue. We're going to hold the imperm for what? Ooh. Big Welcome. Spin back the blue. You already used up your normal summon before you summon the jet. All right. It works out. Secret Password into the Live Twin home, which will discard a card to special summon from the deck, and then we will negate. Discard blue. Summon the Leela. Leela, activate. Negate. We are trying to play through so much disruption. The Big Welcome, the Dogmatica Punishment, the Imperm. They finally got us. No, they didn't. We special summoned the jet. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, we played through all of that. Lovely, Imperm, Dogmatica Punishment, Big Welcome Labrynth. 4 disruptions and we are cooking. Damn. Kisa Kill, summon Leela. Leela on summon, pop a card in the field. We're locked in a Link 2 only. Gamma Burst? What the burst? We're gonna be bursting for a quick 5,000 damage. To then make another Kisa Kill. To reborn the Leela during their turn, to then pop a card. Now it's only activatable during the main phase. Gotta be careful about that. Clock plus Chandelier, discard the Labrynth. We're going to be Kisa Kill activating to summon. So what's going to happen here is the Leela will activate with the clock to summon onto the field. Thus, the trap that you're setting in the back row will not be activatable. Very well done. Had you waited for the clock to activate, then you chain Kisa Kill to the clock, you then summon Leela, then the clock summons onto the field, then the Leela activates, then you can chain the big welcome Labrynth. So perfect timing. Very good. Which means we screwed this up. We had to toggle on. With the toggle on in the draw phase, if you watch my toggle video, you have a setting where you could hold left click and then you're in the draw phase. You do this entire play in the draw phase and then this is not possible. They can't do this. Leela get poppin'. All right. You know, it could be difficult to toggle on quickly enough. I do think there should be a setting where you default have toggle on for your at least your draw phase, something like that. So for quality of life, I would like a way for your automatically toggled on in your own draw phase at the start of the game, or maybe at the start of every turn, maybe. And I would also like, this is in Magic Arena, I would like a button that says pass until the end phase. I would love that. Sometimes I have a card that I want to activate in the end phase, but I don't want to activate it before then. Just pass until the end phase so I could go AFK, and then it's asking me in the end phase to activate my card. That's in Magic Arena. Pot of E. Limited to 1. I'm going to keep on saying that. I feel like we're seeing more Pot of E with it being limited to 1 than before. What's up with that? Holy moly. We got Welcome, we got Big Welcome, we have Kashtira Fenrir. Alongside that, we have Lightning Storm, we have Raigeki, but we could delete the entire hand with the Eradicator. Imperm, ooh. I mean, you know, were we trying to chain link block it? Okay, sure, yeah, we were trying to chain link block it, so I'm not going to say that this is a misplay. You're chain link blocking the lady. It makes sense, but it doesn't actually, because then we chain to the Imperm. Yeah, don't do that. Does not make sense. Don't do this. You blocked it with another card that you need to block, because then I chained to that card that you were blocking. We're going to be chaining Live Twin home to the Eradicator, attempting to delete the entire hand. This is not good. Get eradicating. Goodbye to the entire hand. I feel like if this were, I know the music's on, I'm sorry about that. If this were a game like Marvel Snap, where they continually would modify the cards and edit them and make them more balanced instead of having to ban and limit, I feel like a good change to this card would be only activatable during the main phase. So they would at least have a chance to shotgun their Lightning Storm, then chain Eradicator. Set this up. And we do have the Fenrir now negated. As we now spin it back to the hand, that's okay. Leela is all that's left. Everything else has been deleted by the Eradicator. Marvel Snap's wild. They don't even give you 2 weeks for a change. They'll just, like, you logged in today, your card's different, your card's nerfed, you didn't even know about it. Get popping, wiping out the entire field. Eradicator deleting the duel. Opening up with our Unicorn Gamma 3 Best. Thank you for the free Prime sub. We are going to be playing Tearlament with Kashtira, combining them into one. Normal summon Rhino, Chainlink block with the Scream, so you cannot Ash negate the Rhino. Even through Disruption, we have a pretty damn good field. If we summon, it triggers Scream to mill 3, which will maybe result in a fusion, and we're reduced by 500. We have an Omni Negate plus the Masquerena, which could link off into Unicorn or maybe Goddess. Focus up, focus up. Circular, send from the deck, special summon the Circular, triggering the Scream, milling, nothing too valid here. But what's good is the Fairy Tale Snow will flip down the Circular before it gets triggered by the effect of the Sigma. We're going to be also triggering the effect that Theosis being banished by the cost of the snow to add back the Fenrir. Sigma still special summoning. Subtraction reducing onto the Masquerena. So what happens here is if the subtraction does not reduce, does it summon? It states that you will target a monster and then lose one. Okay, you special summon, then it loses 1,000. So even though the monster leaves the field, we still get to summon. You're not stopping my summon. Come forth into Unicorn. On summon, we'll discard a card and spin a card on the field back. To summon we go. If we spin back to Sigma, it gets banished instead. As we now link this off into Lingaribo, which will negate the activation of a trap, but more importantly, triggering the Parallel Exceed. Hey, what are you doing? Don't lick my drink. Chill. Ash Blossom negating the Parallel Exceed from summoning another Exceed from the deck, which would have made an Alumbert to then search for a Diameter, which would have then popped off from there. All right. Circular is going to be starting this off, sending Sigma. Sigma Reborn. Now, this is questionable on whether you should Ash. If you Ash the Circular, searching for the Superfactorial, you could instead Ash the Alumbert, searching for a Diameter, which may be potentially the better play. Possibly, the Alumbert could search for any card. The Circular could only search for a spell or trap. So you tell me what you think. Or we'll negate it anyway, sure. And let's see if it's really that much of a big deal. Turn off the music. I'm sorry, the dog's distracted me. Alumbert on summon, activate, get searching. Detach, come to us, Diameter. And what's really good about the Alumbert is it cheats the Sigma. The Sigma is supposed to get banished when it leaves the field, but it's instead going back to the graveyard, which is perfect for a card like Superfactorial, which we don't have access to now. Diameter it up, Reborn the Circular, link this off into the Splash Mage. I think we're going into a Heat Soul potentially. Triggering the Parallel Exceed, summoning from the deck another Parallel Exceed, and now we're going to Splash Mage our Diameter onto the field. Are we making Laplation? Turn 1, discard a card from the hand? Possibly, maybe, maybe not. Now we got Lingaribo. Now, linking this off further into our Heat Soul. Heat Soul, draw a card every single turn. On top of that, we already have Drawing into an Ash Blossom. That was ideal. Now, Pit Knight Earl is crazy with the Heat Soul. You activate Heat Soul, you chain to the Heat Soul. It could be chain link blocked. Then you get to negate a monster on the field. There's no way that Tier's gonna beat this. Oh, there goes the Heat Soul. Keck, wait, we were using Heat Soul to negate with Earl, so we lost a draw, but we get to draw off of that Kaiju summon. Sharon is a really good Ash target. Ash negate the Sharon, that is ideal, super ideal. Now what? We're gonna follow up with Purrely Kashtira special summoning by banishing the Sharon, triggering the Purrely Kashtira to mill 3 cards off the top of our deck, which should have triggered our Rhino Heart had we had a Tearlament in the hand, but we did not. So double up the Kaiju, wiping out the opposing Kaiju, and goodbye to the Earl. Now, let's follow this up. Earl's going to resummon itself back onto the field during the end phase because it was sent to the graveyard that turn, get Reborning, and we're scooping it up, knowing that this is going into an Update Jammer, Access Code Talker, Lethal. You ain't stopping that. Let's hop into game 3. We got the Spirit Aratama, but we have no hand trap. What do we have here? Now, I think I was incorrect in saying that Kaleido could trigger another fusion. Tier is locked into 2 fusions only. So if you make Kick Cal into Kaleido, that's it. You can't do a 3rd fusion. That's in the TCG, where we stop after 2. So what is the disruptions here? We could trigger a fusion going into not Rucal. We could go into Rucalis actually. So we have go into the effect of special summon negate. We have negate anything with Baron to floor. We have trigger Kaleido to pop a card in the field, returning it back in the deck, that is. We have pop a card in the field with the field spell. We have banish with the Fenrir. We have about 5 disruptions plus Maxi and a Unicorn. Let's go. Oh, we now have 6 disruptions. We took an infinite impermanence off the top of the deck. Is really unlucky for Cypher Ghost. This could now not only trigger a fusion, but also spin a card in the field back in the deck. What the heck was that? Small World, banishing Sakitama to grab a Santa Claus. On the resolution of this, we may want to be using that Time Thief or Doer before we get Kaiju'd, potentially, maybe. But we're going to Kaiju over the Baron to floor instead. Sakitama will be searching for the Sakitama, Aratama search for Sakitama, I mixed it up. Now we're going to be triggering the Fenrir to banish the Aratama and the Unicorn to get rid of an Update Jammer from the extra deck. Now the Sakitama is just gonna, it's gonna be the thing on the field, and that's it. Yep, and it's gone. Okay, yep, all right, good job, Mathmech, that was a good effort. Tier Kash wins it. Food sector launch, I'd say we have no disruption, but we do have the Bestials, so when are we disrupting? We could banish a Chaos Ruler. If Pisty doesn't target a banished monster, then the Bestial will banish whatever the Pisty's targeting. The Recharger is non-target special summon of a dark monster from the graveyard, but you could probably reasonably Bestial the card that they want to summon. We are Bestial banishing Lubellion right now, so that so far has been really good. And then we have the Serenir waiting for the most opportune moment to get banishing. Serenir, okay, we're gonna stop your Bestial summon by using our Bestial summon, banishing the same target. So you can't send Serenir to send another Lubellion to then get that Lubellion back in the fields. All right. We have Alternative Art, Masquerena, using the effect of Chaos Ruler, banishing a Light and Dark to reborn itself from the graveyard. And where are we going with this? That's it. Okay, sure. We have Masquerena, and that's it. We do have a Hidden Ash, Herald of the Abyss, declaring Dark Dragon, forcing Chaos Ruler to be banished. Now we are Gold Sark, banishing Tragedy, which will be setting up our main play, Aliburn into Branded Fusion, but you hold your Ash. Do not let anything eat your Ash. Do not Ash the Tragedy, do not Ash the Aliburn. Ash the Branded Fusion. Let it eat the Ash. Negate. Now we have Branded in white, but no Albaz monsters. So what is the play? We're gonna Branded in white, fusing with the field to make a Masquerade. With the Masquerade, the Druid Swarm is sending the Masquerade into the graveyard to then swing for 5,000. Now, every time you activate a card like that Serenir, you're gonna burn for 600 damage. The Retribution is dead. It's no good. It's even questionable to even set it, because then you may want to be discarding it with something like a Lubellion on the next turn. We are burning. Big burn. Burn for the Summon of Magna Hut, burn for the activation. Now making Hieratic Seal, not activatable during your own turn, by the way. Serenir sending from the deck to the graveyard, our Bestial Lubellion tributing over the Heavenly Sphere to trigger its effect to summon a monster from the deck. Wow, okay, that was something. Summoning the Black Metal, then making the Striker Dragon, searching for the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. How much more can we handle of the burn? Not much more. At 1900 life, we had to swing over it before main phase 2, summoning our Tracer onto the field. Now we're going to be reborning our Lubellion, tributing over the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, setting up a Branded Regain if a card gets banished. If it's a light or dark, we'll draw a card from it. We have Baron to Floor to get pop, and if we pop that Retribution, it's a trick, it's a trap. Don't fall for it. It's going to recycle the Branded Fusion. And there it goes. All right, thank you. We want that in the graveyard. You helped us out. Masquerade reborning from the graveyard, but we drew into the Baldrake. Okay. So, yeah, I guess there's nothing we can do there. All right, yep. Regained is going to be returning the Masquerade, draw one card, and we have not used up our Baron to Floor negates. We have nothing to discard for Fallen Albaz. You see, what would happen here is you would summon Albaz, discard Retribution, they would be forced to negate, and then Retribution would add the Branded Fusion. This is why I said it was questionable to set that Retribution, which it seemed funny at the time that he popped it, but now it's not that funny. Add back the Branded Fusion, come to me, and now we have nothing to discard for the Albaz. Get swinging, suiciding our Serenir, sending from the deck to the graveyard a Branded Opening. MP2, that Branded Fusion, if we had another way to add it back to the hand, it would be activatable because the activation's negated, not the effect. And then what? Do we have the Lenitus Dragon? We do not. Oh boy. Baron to Floor is not going to be popping. It's going to be spinning itself back into the extra deck to reborn a Magna Hut. Using Lubellion to set up the Branded Beast to pop a card in the field whenever we want. We're going to be using the banished card, returning it back into the extra deck to draw one, making the Striker Dragon, triggering the Wyvern Burster to grab the Collapsed Serpent. We're going to be popping ourselves to grab back a Rocket Tracer, as we have not used up our normal summon yet, and we did the right thing. We scooped it up right before he was potentially summoning a Baron to Floor. All right, Fusion deployment is here. We have Branded Regained, which will be triggered off of one of your Bistils banishing my monster. So we're going to be using Branded in white after summoning the Albaz to go right into our Lubellion. Now, Lubellion on summon will be discarding the Karikura to then get Fusion summoning into our Mirror Jade. And with that, we end. We just have one disruption. This is maybe questionable unless we really want that Dragon Search to be a non-Bestial here. We are triggering the Regain to activate its effect to draw a card. Okay. We get a draw, and then we're going to get to draw again during your turn. So now it's draw two instead of just draw one, but you are getting that end phase search, or maybe something that will help out your turn. Oh, like imagine giving the opponent Max C. Oh my gosh, but you know, they would have drawn Max C on their turn anyway after the summon. It's not like you would have avoided banishing a card, right? So this was inevitable. It was going to happen. We did add Safer, so wait, no, we added a Black Metal Dragon. Okay. Lubellion discarding itself, adding a Druid Swarm here, tributing for our Lubellion. We got to be careful. We are under that Max C. Do we banish before it activates? We do not. Setting up a Branded Regained of our own. Mirror Jade is going to be sending the Albion banishing. Now, what happens is if you're a turn player and you both have Branded Regained and you activate your Regain, the other Regain counters your Regain. You don't get to draw a card. So maybe if you had more ways to banish, which it looks like you didn't, well, and you don't have a Bestial, you would instead wait for them to use their Regained, and then you would use the Bestial to then use your Regain. Do you understand that? You get countered. All right. Yeah, it looks like you were going to do that anyway. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't activate that Regain. Don't do that. Let them do theirs, then you do yours. Magna Hut banishing. This is all within during the end phase. We're going to search for a dragon during to be used during our turn too. Very good. The Magna Hut during the end phase play. Very well done. Showing why the card is limited to 1. Lubellion, discard, add a Serenir. I think Lubellion is limited to 1 in OCG. Is this a card that could possibly get hit? Tributing for our Lubellion, flipping up the Branded Beast, tributing our Baldric to take out that Lubellion before it activates, setting up a Branded Lost. We're going to Serenir, banish from the opposing graveyard so you cannot activate your Branded Regained. Now, the play that I said that counters your play that you countered them, now you're getting yourself countered, but we're actually ashing yours. Okay. You don't draw, I draw. Good deal. Return back into the deck or extra. Whoa! Drawing into a Branded Fusion. Don't mind if I do. What the heck? Rin Brum is here. And just like that, we have 8,000 damage on the field, and the Mirror Jade, I think it already activated during the other turn, so it's turned off. We're going to be reborning our Magna Hut, and we still have 8,000 damage on the field, but the Druid Swarm is sending the Mirror Jade activating to wipe out the field of monsters during the end phase. Thus, we no longer have lethal damage. All right, wow. And the Mirror Jade would have been activatable during the next turn, so that Druid Swarm putting in great work there. We are normal summoning our Black Metal, linking this off into the Striker Dragon, activating to search for that Boot Sector launch, triggering the effect of the Black Metal Dragon, Chainlink blocking the Black Metal and not the Striker Dragon, so it looks like we are putting importance on the search for the Black Metal search, but now that sets us up to be countered by Call by the Grave and an Ash Blossom. Had we blocked the Striker Dragon, we would have only been able to Call by the Grave. We would have received our Boot Sector launch, but then we could have negated a Romulus instead. So, you know, it's not that crazy, it's not that big of a deal, but okay, I'm not saying that they misplayed. I'm thinking that they did put importance on the Black Metal search here. All right, you're negated, you're fingered, and then we are going to, we used up our normal summon. The Branded Regained gets countered by Branded Regained, as we said. You know, generally, if you have another way to banish, you do want to wait to see if they activate theirs first, and then you could follow up with yours. But if, I guess if it was your only one activation, you may as well force them to activate it. It's like, if you have no other way to banish, you don't want them to draw a card, right? And they may hold it to counter yours. So there's a chance that they don't activate it. If you activate yours, you're guaranteeing they draw a card. So that is an opportunity to just not do it, and then maybe they don't draw. Is that understandable? Take out that Striker, open field, lethal damage to game 2. Game 3, the best card game 3 is just open up Max C. But we could be fearful of a Gamma, which requires no monsters on the field. So what you're all thinking is, this is an inherent special summon. It doesn't activate. The perfect time to Max C is right here, right now, but we do not want to get Gammaed. So you gotta wait for a body hitting the field, then we could safely Max C. Even with Gamma just at 2, which I think it was recently limited to 1 in TCG. Erratic Seal is here. This is what you do. It's plan B if your opponent has Nibiru or if they Max C you. This is going to be spin a card in the field back to the hand non-targeting. Branded Regained, Call by the Grave, banish a Dark, trigger the Regained, return it back in the deck, draw 1, hopefully drawn into something good here. What is that? Oh, drawing into Nibiru. Okay. We're going to be spinning back that branded regain during the end phase, triggering the effect to summon from the deck our Magna Hut, searching for a black metal dragon to be used next turn, which we have another Max C for. Did not draw an Ash, did not draw into Called By. We're going to be using Lubellion, grabbing a Druiswarm, and then, you know, we're thinking maybe we should hold Maxi until they activate the Bestial, because if I activate Maxi, they'll chain the Bestial, but then they inherently special summon their Lubellion. They can inherently special summon their Clap Serpent if they have a light monster in the graveyard, which they do. So I think that the opportune moment to Maxi was maybe on the activation of Lubellion while he had a monster in the field, just drop that Maxi, right? Let's go. Setting up in the back row, Branded Beast, we can now pop a card on the field. Just holding that Max C. We hold it. All right, now, and as we said, chain Bestial to the Max C, which is maybe what you were fearing earlier. Do we remember the summons here? We're on 1, 2, 3. 3 summons for the Nibiru, 4 summons for Nibiru, 5 summons. So what happens here is what's called legally cheating in Master Duel and in Duel Links, where the field lights up, the hourglass turns on. In Duel Links, you can't hide it. That's the problem. But in Master Duel, you can hide it by toggling off. So if you know they're about to do their 5th summon, you hold right-click with the correct settings. You have to have toggle and switch. What's it called? It's toggle and switch, I think it's called. I have a video guide on it. So you hold right-click to toggle off. Your field will not light up. They won't see that you have Nibiru. They won't change their plan. They won't make a Heretic Seal off of this, even though we're late into the game now. We're now on turn 3. You can just wait. But we don't know. Maybe he revealed that he has Nibiru. And it goes both ways. You could fake the delay. Maybe you have something activatable like a Thunder Dragon Dark, and on their 5th summon, you then hold that delay. You make it extra obvious that it's a Nibiru, but it's not. All right, which apparently is illegal in TCG. If they do a 5th summon, you can't pretend you have Nibiru when you don't. I mean, you'd have to be, if you're smart, I'm sure you could, but if you can't do it in a dumb way. We're going to be returning the banished card back of the deck, draw 1. Banish for Wyver Burster. We are onto Max C. And we, you know, that Nibiru's coming. When do we want to Nibiru? Well, what could stop Nibiru? That's the big question. The access code Talker, you could Nibiru at the end of the main phase too. As they're about to set up and summon a Baron to floor, you want to Nibiru before they can make a level 10 synchro. You could Nibiru on the summon of Borreload Savage Dragon. It's going to activate before it gets its negate, and then you wipe out the field. So I'm thinking just hold until the end of main phase 1. Which, if the opponent knows he has Nibiru because maybe he did not hide the delay well enough, you could fake enter the battle phase. By fake entering the battle phase, they then Nibiru early, then you maintain May phase 1, and then you go into lethal damage. So a big mind game's happening right now. This is big. We did not activate the Leveneer. Another thing, Leveneer banishing 3 darks could have a small chance of returning Nibiru back in the deck, which could maybe force them to Nibiru. I wouldn't Nibiru here. We have so many cards in the hand. Is this Nibiru gonna be good or what? I mean, this is crazy. We're taking that Maxi challenge. End of the main phase, get ready for that Nibiru. Oh, we're not even waiting until the end of the main phase. We're just gonna Nibiru right then and there for a giant token. 10,500 token. Oh my Jesus. Wow. Maxi challenge failed. Off the top of the deck, we have Branded in white to get fusion summoning. We have Lubellion searching for a Bestial from the deck here. We're going to Albion send Retribution to add a Branded in red. We're going to fusion deploy a Cartesia onto the field. That will trigger Regain to summon. We're going to Maxi again with 28 cards left in our deck. Magna Hut activating, Albaz discard and fuse. We're going to use the Branded Beast to pop the Albaz, stopping the fusion summon. We're going to Cartesia fuse with the Albaz before it gets popped, just to make use out of it. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, we are. Making Albion. Albion on summon will get fusion summoning, but the Ash will negate. We could finger the Ash of the Called By. Yes, we will. Negate, I do not think so. Then that will trigger the Regained. We could use the Baldrake to dodge the finger, and then we could use the Druiswarm to dodge the Baldrake. So technically, our own Druiswarm is banishing the Veiler, stopping the Called By, which thus the Albion does get negated. And we do get the draw with the Regained. All right, Regained versus Regained. Wait, okay, so interesting. What I was talking about, the mind game of not using your Regained. If they have Regained, we passed on ours, they used theirs, so they did get their draw, and now we could safely use our Regained and get that draw. We're going to be tributing for our Lubellion, and now we are going to be Druid Swarm, triggering, send the token to the graveyard, 8,000 damage on the field. To lethal we go. We have a non-summonal Bestial since we already summoned one. Lethal damage. By summon one, summon the one. The name of Baldrake already was summoned. Maxi in the draw phase. We're going to chain special summon before that Maxi resolves instead of using Ash on that Maxi. You know, I would think that we use Ash early because if we are playing the Time-Tearing Morganite, if we activate it, if we draw into it, we're not going to be able to use Ash for the rest of the duel. Alrighty, activate, discard. Oh, we'll discard the Ash anyway. Why not? Sure, that's fine. Normal summon a mono water. You cannot activate any more monsters for the rest of the turn. We're going to Upstart Goblin. Oh, geez, that's not good. We're going to Runick Slumber to trigger the Fountain to draw 2. What did we banish off the deck here? Banishing Delicious, that is going to be kind of annoying. Also banishing the Happy Memory. We are thrusting into a card of Demise to be used next turn as we now have a Starlight Road. What the heck are you doing with this card? What is this good against? If you're about to have 2 cards or more be destroyed, like Lightning Storm, Harpy Feather Duster, which I guess a lot of people are now playing because of the thrust, you negate, then summon a Stardust Dragon. Sure. But Huggin already kind of protects also. We are summoning our Lily. Lily is going to be adding our My Friend Purrely. Ash is going to be negating the My Friend Purrely. I do not think so. Now the Triple Tactics talent will be activatable to draw 2, or take control of the Huggin, or return the Amano back. I mean, you know what's in the hand, right? Like, this is not something that's hidden information. So it's not maybe he has a Runick card. This returned back to the hand. So you really do not want that summon next turn. We are going to be summoning our Purrely. Now, we do have a way to suck up that card of Demise before it's activated through a Pretty. So with the Pretty memory, we could suck it up. We're going to be making Plump. Plump could suck up the Pretty, and then we could suck up the Demise before it activates. But maybe there's bigger priorities. Maybe we want to suck up the Fountain instead. Fountain, card of Demise, what do? What? We sucked up the hidden card, the Starlight Road, mate. Ain't no way. We got X Purrely Nor with how many spins here? We're going to suck up again. Double suck. So with 7 material, we have triple spin. We could spin the field spell, then 2 more spin. Stun deck is not going to survive this. There's ain't no way. And on the first spin, we're unaffected. Now we have 4 spins. Spin 4 times, draw 2 cards during the standby phase. We're going to spin that field spell early, as you now have a greater chance to draw into it. Skill Drain actually does negate X Purrely Nor. But you chain X Purrely Nor spin to the Skill Drain, then you don't get negated, so you're fine. Yeah. All right, game number 2. Runick Smiting Storm. You could cut off the Maxi by chaining another Runick card, and then maybe discard a Triple Tactics Thrust or the Maxi, and then you could trigger the field spell with your other Runick card, which looks like exactly what we're doing here. Okay, cutting off the Maxi so you do not get to draw. What are we discarding, though? We discard Maxi or Thrust. Thrust is activatable. We could set up a nasty trap. Well, not too nasty. It's got to be a normal trap. The nasty ones are continuous. Now, Droplet's going to give them a draw, but banishing a bunch of cards off the top of the deck. Also, draw 3. Morganite. Where's the Morganite? There can only be 1 fairy-type monster on the field. With the there can only be 1. So that's going to be very difficult to play around. You cannot turn your fairy into a fairy exceed because you still can only have 1 fairy on the field. So it's still illegal. All right, standby phase, activate the Purrely. Now we could flip up the there can only be 1, forcing just the Lily to be on the field here. Huh? Okay, we could have stopped this summon. This should not be on the field. Why are we not flipping this up? There can only be 1, thus there can only be 1, and you can't link 2. Ain't no way. Hug and Protect the Azalea. Follow up with the My Friend Purrely. Ash is going to negate. All right. Which now triggers the TTT to draw 2 or look at the hand. We do have Flash Fire, which is usable. And we're going to be Flash Firing right here, right now. Chaining Delicious Memory. If we had a Happy Memory, we could have made the Azalea indestructible. Max C, in response to the effect of Special Summon, we're going to get a free draw 1 here. And then the Fountain's going to get drawn. Come for the Moonin. Moonin will protect one of your cards from being targeted. That's interesting. Does Moonin stop happy effects of non-target? No, of course it does not. So how this works exactly is when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Runick or a set card you control, banish to negate. Goodbye to Demise off of the TTT. Let's draw 2. Turn 2, draw 2 into another Flash Fire, which was already activated. Flipping up the there can only be one fairy on the field. One fairy, you can't go into a fairy with your fairy. That is illegal. Gain 1,000 during the end phase. Oh boy, this is a problem. We got Slumber just to trigger the fountain as cards are continually being banished off the top of the deck. Popping the Lily with the Flash Fire. Fountain now get drawing. Just scoop it up. I'm still looking for the Morganite. Nambiri. Lily, a kid won in a children's card game. Can you freaking believe that? My friend Purrely searching our deck for a sleepy memory. Come to my hand. And we're also going to be drawing 2 cards. Draw 2, 3 spins, plus Monster Negate. 4 disruptions. Now, if you summon a mono, that's it. You can't chain X Purrely Nor, you can't chain Beauty, you can't activate any of your monster effects. It does completely counter them. Boom, can't activate. Runick into the fountain. Now the problem is when the mono returns back to the hand during the end phase, the X Purrely Nor can then spin back all the back row cards within the end phase before they're activatable. So how do we play around that? I don't think we can. I think we just lose. Maybe we could draw into something good? Slumber into the Moonin, draw 2. What are we drawing into that will help us out? Okay, that's something. And then go back to the hand, then spin 4 back row cards back. 1, Starlight Road gone. 2, Skill Drain gone. Wait, we could negate you targeting Skill Drain, but you're unaffected. Wait, no, you have 4 material. You are affected, you are negated, but now you know that's a good one. So you do that again. Do it again. Bro, if we held Curse, we could have cursed in the end phase. Why did we set Curse? We knew that eventually it would be effectable. Once he detaches enough on their 5 materials, then we would be able to negate. Can you imagine if he Nord, chained Nor, and then you followed up with Curse to negate all of that? And then you keep this field? You keep the back row, Skill Drain, and Tiki Boo stays? Goodbye, and goodbye. Wow. You said this is a bluff and it didn't work. The duality also didn't work. The better cards are always towards the middle, man. Come on, everyone knows that. No one's gonna spin the left and right side. Who does that? And the Nor also getting destroyed by the Moonin. Yeah, the Moonin. So that's what's yeah, wow. The Moonin forces the Nor to activate multiple times before it gets destroyed, and then you curse it, and then it negates all of it. Oh my, it was perfect. Moonin and Curse would have protected Skill Drain and Tiki Boo. You know, the first spin, he would have been 6 material though. All right, all right. Lily summoning off of you, destroying my Nor, also adding a bunch of cards in the graveyard back to the hand. I mean, we got pretty much nothing. We just have Curse. We're gonna suck up that Curse. We're gonna activate the Curse, triggering the Runick Fountain to draw just 1. Is draw 1 gonna do it? How could we draw 1 into something that's good? There's no way. There's draw into any one card that exists and you still lose. It got sucked up anyway, so you're drawing nothing, actually. Nothing. Yeah, wow. You had to activate it early before you get sucked up because you can't spin back what's sucked up. Yup, we could not wait for the beauty to activate, and we did. But, I mean, we lost this anyway. Let's get real. My friend Purrely, the Mono Wado is public information. We know it's in the hand. Putting the Runick Fountain in the Runick Fangs into attack position. And did we delicious it? Yeah, we made it indestructible by battle, and it's in attack position. It already, yeah, can't be destroyed by card effects, but now it can't be destroyed by battle. All right, let's go. Flame on! Nambiri, thank you for allowing us to see the OTK. For those that don't know, the Purrely OTK combo. And using it with beauty is even better. Put a monster into attack, make it indestructible by battle, make the happiness attack over it continually over and over. Multiple attacks, up to 4 attacks if you have all of your happinesses within your deck still. They were not randomly banished. 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack, 4 attack, and then you have 5 attack, 6 attack. 6 attacks. Lethal damage. Thank you, Necrofear. Thank you, Nambiri. Nambiri, were you playing Time-Tearing Morganite? Is that how you got to the top 16? Final game of the top 16 before we go into the top 8. We got Theosis onto the Rise Heart. This is a really good matchup here. I'm happy to see this Purrely versus Kashtira. The top two decks going at it. We have Birth to Reborn, our banished card with the Rise Heart. Come back to us, our Rise Heart. We already used up our normal summon, so the Birth effect of additional summoning is not going to be working here. Not additional, but summoning without tributing. We're going straight into that Arise Heart playing around Nibiru. That's our 4th summon. It is activatable. Now, the Triple Tactics talent on the official usage, it went from about 20-something% to over 50% because it's the main counter for Arise Heart, and it's really good against multiple decks. And the Triple Tactics Thrust, I believe, is at about a 30% usage rate. I did tell you all that Triple Tactics talent was going to go way, way up, more so than Thrust because of the Arise Heart. Now, if we activate anything, the Arise Heart's going to be forced to activate due to a card being banished, and then you get to Triple Tactics talent, take control. You can also just Herald of the Abyss it if you want to, nice and simple. We are going to be banishing the Abyss. So this ensures that our cards are banished instead of going to the grave by detaching as material. Otherwise, we could have just let them go to the grave. We do have Daruma. Daruma is going to be interesting. Get Daruma-ing. Daruma flip down the Purrely, and you can't exceed with the face down. So, yep, turned off the exceed. Now, we're going to be using the pretty discard special summon the Lily. Lily gets searching. Imperm get negating. Well, what am I searching? I'm searching for my friend Purrely, but you're negating the other effect of being able to exceed with the graveyard, so it is a double benefit. We're going to TTT, chain the Scareclaw Kashtira as you're trying to look at my hand, and I could banish the Birth or Theosis, and then Theosis will activate on a separate chain link, adding a banished card back, which we ensure that these cards will be banished for the Theosis to be activating. Okay, Birth back in the deck. I already have a Birth, does not matter. Activate, come to me. Also banishing 3 cards face down from the graveyard. That is nasty. And now we are going to be returning to the hand. Come to me, Unicorn. And now what do we have here? Follow-up Thrust. Thrust a card to the hand. The Leap. Huh, okay. The Lily's not activatable. We already used up our normal summon, but we could discard Leap, special summon into another Lily, and then use that Lily. Okay, we're going to Purrely. We haven't used Lily to exceed with the graveyard yet. So we're really going YOLO off of this into a random pretty off the hand. So this didn't have to be random. We could have guaranteed this happening by adding pretty, using pretty to summon Lily, Lily target the pretty in the graveyard, make the beauty. It just wouldn't have been random. All right. And let's get sucking. Send the Purrely, suck up the Birth, and now you needed that extra Birth, but you have Unicorn, which is not summonable due to the Scareclaw Kashtira. You have to, at the start, I'm surprised we didn't attack into Beauty. At the start of the battle phase, you have to activate Beauty to negate the Scareclaw Kashtira with your toggle on. It will say S at the battle phase if you have the right settings on in your settings, because as soon as they enter the battle phase and you're not toggled on the attack declaration, you are negated. We want to get rid of that Lily. Sure, get rid of it, because, you know, we have no follow-up plays anyway. So actually, I'm not that surprised that we didn't attack into that. But it's going to suck up our Scareclaw Kashtira, which maybe we're okay with because we could follow up Unicorn next turn. Ash in the hand to stop the Max C. Returning. Usually you do this during the end phase to ensure that you could draw one of them for your turn. We're also going to be using my friend Purrely to then guarantee one of them to our hand. Lily is here, activating, grabbing the Stray Purrely Street as we could get into the Delicious from the graveyard. Maxi Chain, do we Ash? No, we're holding on to the Ash. You get that free draw 1, that's fine. Get plumping. Plump is here. We could suck up to 2 cards from either player's graveyard. We're going to suck up Daruma and Imperm, but we're only at 4 material. No, we don't have it. What's going on here? The 5th material, but it's during the end phase. So all we have is a Beauty Negate, which we need to toggle on for the start of the battle phase if we want to negate the Scareclaw Kashtira potentially. So, yep, you know, it gets taken out, but, you know, negating the Scareclaw Kashtira beyond that, not really that big of a deal, as it's not really doing anything. We now have the My Friend Purrely, and in fact, by not using it at the start of the battle phase, you're forcing the Scareclaw Kashtira to have to attack into it, instead of changing its mind and attacking into the Plump instead, which would be negating its boost, and then it would get reduced. Straight into the Lily grabbing a Purrely, all within the damage step, so you couldn't even Ash that. We have Pathfinder to find the path into the field spell, which... What is the field spell going to get us? It's going to get us a Rise Heart, I guess. Rise Heart, special summon, rank 7 exceed. So sure, yeah, okay, Ash couldn't negate. I'd say it makes sense. The Pathfinder's obviously not activatable unless you have the field spell in your deck, so they're not going to follow up, use another field spell since it is limited to 1. Getting super plump. 8 material plump is about to happen here. Now, thankfully, the plump does not draw during your standby phase, only during the opponent's. It's a really long duel. What is going on? Activate Delicious, chain the plump to the Delicious. If we do not chain Imperm, we could say goodbye to our Scareclaw Kashtira. For the non-target monster, banish. Be gone. Wait, why did it not get banished? Why is it not banished? No, he didn't banish it. He was targeting it with the Delicious Memory. Correction. Okay. He said no. He said no. He is going to get Lily negated, and we didn't even activate My Friend Purrely early to dodge it being negated. We have Purrely activated, and look at the top 3 cards of the deck, randomly adding that Sleepy Memory to our hand here. I feel like there's a lot of quality of life updates that Konami could do with the game to make it more in line with other games like Hearthstone and Marvel Snap, where why not show on the card that it's affected by Delicious right now? I don't think that's a big deal. Maybe like a little circle, like a little happy face, like, hey, I'm being influenced by Delicious and some other stuff. What's going on? We're gonna suck it up with the plump. Delicious, get chaining onto that Delicious. Come to me. 11 material plump. We are super plump. 10,000 attack plump. Have you ever seen anything so plump? All right, well, it all came down to we had Herald of the Abyss and Triple Tactics talent to both counter the turn 1 Arise Heart. Finding the path for the field spell, we did not open with that first. Generally, it could be good for eating up a negate, but then it eats up your normal summon, which we have Birth, but we're going to be special summoning Rise Heart anyway. Making the Shang-Ri to special summon the Rise Heart. Rise Heart come here, Rise Heart banishing for the deck a Theosis. And now the Shang-Ri is going to be popping the field, locking up a zone as we now grab our Pressure Planet. Pressure Planet could grab a Scareclaw Kashtira, which will banish the Big Bang. Big Bang will bang the Shang-Ri, returning a material, summoning it back onto the field here. And then we could go right into the triple material, a Rise Heart, or we're going into a Rise Heart over the Shang-Ri instead. Double Arise. Okay, it works. It plays around Herald of the Abyss. We did get heralded game 1, so why not? Focus up. Nothing to stop this. All our cards are banished, which means the Lily is not functional. Lily cannot perform an Xyz play. We are going to be Sleepy, banishing our cards, summoning the Lily, and of course, mandatorily activating. Purrely, randomly off the top 3, come to me, one of the cards. We got another Sleepy, and we got Bang. So what we could do is now we could bang one of our own Arise Hearts to summon a Fenrir onto the field. So this is a problem. We allowed him to rank 1 exceed into, if it's a Slacker Magician, he could go into Zeus. Fucho, same thing in a way. The downside of Fucho is what if both of the Arise Hearts are in attack position? Well, it still doesn't matter. So, well, actually, it does matter because you're detaching 2 materials, so your Zeus is not going to be big enough. So because you're in defense, I could just swing in, I'm unaffected, and now I make a Zeus. And how do you stop it? You don't. Oh. That's not good. Oh boy. Had we summoned both in attack position, you would summon Slacker instead if we play it, which we don't. Now, let's read Slacker real quick for those that don't know. And let's refresh our memory on the Slacker. The Slacker against 2 Arise Hearts. Would this be better? 2 level 1s. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, so you swing into an attack position Arise Heart, you're fine. And then during either player's turn, when they activate Arise to banish, you detach a material. And you could do it more than once, it looks like. Yeah, so Arise, detach, and I guess you get to eat up both of the Arises anyway, but the Fucho ended up being better because we get the Zeus. Let's go. Yeah, sure. Okay. And then we are gonna be double banishing that Zeus face down. Zeus be gone. Just like that. All right, we are going to be using the Theosis after the resolution of all that to add back our Unicorn. At least it ate up the battle phase, and we do know that Purrely is quite scary with an open battle phase. Grabbing that Ma Friend Purrely. Lily is going to be exceeding with the graveyard into the plump. And with the Ma Friend Purrely, we're going to be grabbing a quick play spell to equip onto the plump. And then we could equip the Sleepy and a card from the opponent's graveyard here. We got the 5 material. We got it. 1, 2, 5 material. X Purrely Noir is here. Now, we're going to get greedy. This is greedy because it could be disrupted by a quick play card, potentially like a Book of Moon that people are not really playing. So what's going to happen is they're going to draw 4. Let's go. Draw 1. Draw 2. And we're going to be equipping. And then draw 3. Draw 4. And don't forget to max C. If we could draw no more hand traps. Thaler, Ash. What are we thinking? Double max C. TTT for next turn. Good luck. Rust in the Herald of the Abyss, send the Nor, and it's outed. Completely outed. Do we play it? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And what's great about this is the My Friend Purrely and the field spell don't activate because I did not send your Nor to the graveyard. I made you send your own Nor, so they do not work. No add back, no special summon. Gotcha. Now, 8,500 damage. We're going to be birthing a monster onto the field here. We got 4,900 damage. We still have a normal summon. Could special summon the Rise Heart. Rise Heart special summon. 6,400 damage, banishing the Unicorn. We could then, I guess we already birthed. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Banishing the My Friend on the attack. We are also going to be banishing a card from the extra deck here. We didn't have like a Big Bang play, huh? Yeah, Big Bang is already banished. That is unfortunate. Going into the Arise Heart, which the TTT outs. We could just Harpy Feather Duster. This activates, then I take control of it. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's over. Exactly what I said. Harpy Feather Duster. Activate Arise, mandatory activation, triggering the TTT, take control. It's going to banish itself, probably. Rusting a Herald instead. I guess we could draw 2 at the TTT. What do you think? We're activating early? Oh, sure, activate early. Okay. Grab the Big Bang. I mean, I didn't Herald the Abyss. Yeah, you could have maybe waited. Wait a little bit, no? Well, by not waiting, we now get to Big Bang our Arise Heart to then summon a Fenrir on the field. So by not waiting, this was ideal. Attach Big Bang, detach Big Bang, then bang your Arise Heart to summon a Fenrir on the field. This is how it's done. Very well done. All right, get banging into the Fenrir. Nice. Very nice. Now, if you take control of Fenrir, guess what happens? The Arise Heart activates again, mandatorily triggering the Fenrir. So what do? There's nothing what you could do. There's nothing to do. But we didn't take it anyway. And then we let their Fenrir banish our... we just took control of this. Why didn't he activate? Huh? I don't think this was done right. I think we take Fenrir, we banish Arise Heart, then we make some plays. Yeah. I think we forgot that Arise Heart is a mandatory activation on the resolution of the TTT, which triggers the Fenrir we take control of. Make an Azalea. But, I mean, we're so far ahead. Even if we mess up lethal damage, we're going to have a big fat Nor on main phase 2. Does it really matter? All right. Let's get going. Huh? He timed out. He timed out. No way. That was like a guaranteed win. Even just, I think just ending the turn, just making no play, and I think we still could have won because we gained 20 seconds at the start of every turn. We just got to end the turn, gain that 20 seconds every single turn. That is a rough one. You know, the nerves is high, anxiety is high. We're in the top cut. It does happen. People do time out. Righty. We are going first with our Purrely. We have Ash for the My Friend Purrely. Generally going to be the best thing to Ash. Speaking of My Friend Purrely, get negated. Now, to follow up from that My Friend Purrely, let's see what we could do here. We probably want to try to get lucky with the regular Purrelys or go for a guaranteed Beauty. Beauty is guaranteed here, and with the Leap, it does not... It works out quite well, actually. So we have the option of draw 2 or draw 1 and negate. What would you take? This is draw 1 and then draw 2 into the Nor, or we get negated. Did not go for the draw 2. I think that was the correct play. Grabbing the Herald of the Abyss. Huh. This is interesting. It's like, was this public knowledge? Did the Purrely Leap get added? I forget. No? Did we know? Yeah, we did see that happen. So I'm kind of interested on what's going on here. I guess it does stop a monster negate. Sure. Now there's a 2-spin Nor. The Nor is affectable, but it's not targetable due to the Purrely Street. So what do? Not spinning the Pathfinder. We could spin the field spell instead. All right. We are going to spin the field spell, stop the search. We're still untargetable. If we special summon Unicorn, activate Theosis, we'll special summon Fenrir instead. Spin back in the deck, you go. We're out of spins, that's it. No more spins. We got Birth, we got Theosis. We have no disruptions to have to play through. Let's do it. Fenrir search for the run. I mean, we got full combo. It's full. And we're going to be banishing the Fenrir. We could reborn the Fenrir. We have a Rise Hearts. We're going to want to be banishing the My Friend Purrely and the Purrely Street, which we could do. Fenrir banish, a Rise Heart banish, get banishing, get rid of it. That's what I'm talking about. Suck it up, get detaching. Even banishing the Street here will be good. Get sucking, sucking. We didn't activate. We did not banish the Street, so he gets a free summon. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that was a mistake. That was a mistake. We should have banished the Street, then destroyed my battle. Yeah, we should not have had that. And yeah, this whatever. You know, I'm sure we'll still do well. Okay. Now we have to be careful. If we activate a spell, that will trigger the Birth to banish 3 cards face down from the graveyard. So maybe we want Lily to go into Pretty before that happens. Maybe. Looks like we're doing that. And we forced out the Arise Heart Banish. All right. We just have Fenrir Disruption. And we can't Lily the graveyard anymore, so the Birth is not that big of a deal anymore. Purrely, randomly, top 3 off the deck. We have Delicious and Sleepy. Come to me, Delicious. Fenrir get banished and we could summon another Purrely. I mean, can we? We only have 1 left in the deck? Oh gosh, it's the last one. We can't summon another one. This is it. Okay. Birth get banished and face down. Chain Leap. Yeah, Chain Leap. Return the Beauty back into the extra deck here. This is getting scary. 1 Purrely left. And if it gets detached or if it leaves the field in any way, it's going to be banished. All 3 Purrelys will be gone. Got the Street. All right, randomly Streeting. Now, what are we doing here? Sucking up that Purrely Leap. We are going to activate My Friend Purrely. Come to me, guaranteed happy memory. And do we have game? Is there a happy banished? Oh my gosh, this is lethal damage. This is actually lethal damage. With Delicious and Happy, I think that's lethal over a 2700 attack monster, but he's at 85. So I don't know the math on 8,500. Is it lethal on 85? If not, it may be very close. I don't know. Okay. Get sucking. And this is it. This may be lethal or barely missing it. I do not know. Get your calculators ready. Get attaching. This is wild if it's actually lethal. 2,400 attack. 2,700's lethal under 8K. Since you're 2,400 and they just have 500 more life, shouldn't that be... I think it's lethal. I think it would be, right? That's what I'm thinking. All right, attack again, 2,900. And we only have a final attack, and it actually is 100 over lethal. 100 over, we did it, let's go. Damn, that is wild. I could not believe Purrely won that out of nowhere. That was absolute insanity. 3,100 life, 3,200 for the final attack for game. Nuts. Had the Fenrir been a unicorn, it wouldn't have been game, right? At 2,500 attack, then the reductions, each individual attack, he would have been above, it would not have been game. Damn. Even Fenrir being in attack position was a problem. We had to put that, well, you know, we attacked with it, so, you know, we made plays. It's not like we summoned it that turn and then lost, but quite the conclusion to the top 16, if I do say so myself. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, and watching as much as you can. We're going to be advancing to the top 8 and grand finale in the next video. Hajime!